Hello, friends. It's Jasmine, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me discussing some of my K-pop thoughts/opinions. I thought that this would be an interesting video concept because obviously this is a mixture of my personal channel, writing channel, and also K-pop channel. So I'm also going to do this sort of concept video on another topic for another day. So I figured that I start with K-pop and just give some of my random thoughts and opinions on just basically, any group, the industry, just basically the whole entire concept of K-pop. So without further ado, let us get into things. My first K-pop thought/opinion is that I am not a fan of bandwagon hate. I'm actually not a fan of hate in general. I feel like that word is thrown around way too loosely. Hate is literally so strong and people just literally use it for anything. Now, let me clarify what I mean by bandwagon hate. And this isn't even necessarily just for the K-pop genre. It's basically just for any type of genre, any industry, any, concept or, real life thing. Basically, when a person hates on something or someone because it is popular or trendy to do so, meaning that you are hating on a particular thing or somebody just because it's all right, just because it's okay to do. This means that a person doesn't even necessarily have to have, a reason for disliking or hating that thing or someone. They just do because it's bandwagon hate. You're literally just jumping on the bandwagon. You don't have a real strong reason. There might not even be a reason at all. You just do it because you think it's cool. And I've never been a fan of this because it kind of just shows how basically just shows what a follower mindset a person has. Why would you go out of your way to send hate or to feel hatred? And in this case, let's say towards somebody, we are talking about K-pop, so let's just say towards a specific group. How do you even wire your mind like that? If I don't have a reason to personally dislike you, and like I said, I don't really hate a lot of things that is really, really strong. If I don't have a strong reason for disliking someone or a particular group, then I'm not going to force myself to just because others are doing it, just because others think it's trendy and cool. I have reasons for disliking somebody, you know what I mean? And I weigh those reasons. I take it into, consideration of why I feel the way I feel. I don't just mindlessly hate. And I feel like that goes on not only just in K-pop, but even in the Western music industry. A lot of people would just hate a specific artist or a group for no reason. Do y'all not think that's a little strange? I do. And I'm not a fan of it. I feel like if you don't have it don't even have to be a strong reason, or if you don't have a reason to hate or dislike something, then why are you doing it in the first place? And that's just honestly how I feel about it. My second K-pop thought/opinion actually deals with girl groups. Yay, we're talking about girl groups. Now, this is going to be interesting. I am personally not a fan of girl groups. That is just the way I am. I have given every single K-pop girl group a try. From Girls' Generation to 4-Minute to Red Velvet to Blackpink to Twice. They are all unique, very cool in their own way. They all work super, super hard for the success that they have or have had, because I did list a couple of older girl groups. I am just personally not into it. I'm really not. I would mainly call myself just a BTS supporter, and I'm actually going to touch upon that in a second, but it's okay if you don't like girl groups. It's okay if you don't like boy groups. It's okay to have a different opinion. I feel like a lot of people, especially in K-pop fandoms, if you have a different opinion from somebody, you get shot down very aggressively. And it's like, there has to come a point in time where we are mature with our actions and words. People have different opinions from me all the time. People are going to have different opinions from you for your entire life. You have to be mature and just not let it stress you out. Okay, I like chocolate ice cream. Somebody doesn't like chocolate ice cream. Do you think I'm going to make a big deal out of it? You move on. As simple as that. I have no idea why, girl group stands versus boy group stands even exists in the first place, because everybody is different. Everybody is going to gravitate towards something, that might not be what you find appealing or interesting. And so why make a big deal out of it? Why do specifically K-pop fandoms make a big deal out of everything? If you don't just read something and move on with your day and be content, like, I don't know what else to tell you, but it's okay to not be into, girl groups or even boy groups all like that. I'm personally not into girl groups. I will still listen to girl group songs, but I won't invest myself into it, and that's fine. It's my opinion. It's how I feel. We can respectfully agree to disagree if that's what it has to come to at the end of the day. But worrying about it to that extent and sending that mindless hate like I just talked about, it's really unnecessary. All right, guys, we are finally getting somewhere. Now, my third K-pop thought / opinion is dealing with the fact that sometimes, well, not even sometimes, I know this is the full truth for myself, is that I'm not fully, putting in attention into the K-pop world, or I'm not fully a part of the K-pop world. And here's what I mean by that. I just said a couple of seconds or minutes ago that I mostly am a BTS supporter. Notice how I didn't say fan. You can be a fan, but I'm 20 years old, so I'm not gonna necessarily say like, oh my God, I'm like this fan, I go absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, I am. And pardon me if I'm putting a negative connotation on that, but I mean, I just feel like supporter is a better word, because I do support them in everything that they do. I go to their concerts. I've been to 2 concerts of them already. I've bought their album. I keep up with them mostly. And to be honest, I don't even keep up with BTS all the time. I'm an adult. I'm a whole individual. I have other responsibilities in life. I have work. I have school. I have a social life. I have to, be healthy, feed myself, save money, pay certain bills. So it's like a lot of K-pop fans feel as if you aren't in this 24/7, 365 days a year, then you're not included, or you're not considered a real fan or supporter, all like that. And I find that highly ridiculous. Everybody has things to handle, or, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have any business to handle. If you're super young and all you have to worry about is school and stuff, which is a huge responsibility by itself, but you guys know what I mean. I don't necessarily get into the entirety of K-pop all like that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I dabble in it here and there, just like I do with other concepts. You understand what I mean? In the Western pop world, I dabble in a little bit of artists. Even if I don't listen to their music all the way, or I don't buy their album, I just dabble in it. I'm not going to fully invest myself in it. I don't fully invest myself and the entertainment industry in general, because it's just a setup. You're just setting yourself up. You're just going to stress yourself out, and it's not that deep to me. I will never get so caught up in somebody else's life to the point where I low-key forget about my own, and I abandon certain responsibilities, and I can't sleep at night because I am just obsessing about an idol. I don't do that. It's not that deep to me. I have other things to worry about. K-pop is just a small part of my life. It's not a personality. It's not what I mainly do. It just is what it is, I really wish a lot of K-pop fans would just treat it how it is and not put such a big emphasis on it. There is a lot of emphasis put on, the entirety of K-pop. And, I'm a very understanding person. I have a very open mind. I understand if you're young and that's all you have to lean on. You could be going through something in life. I'm not here to be judgmental. I'm here to be understanding. But for those of us who, there's an extreme limit with everything. You can always cross the line to make something bad for you after a while. Sorry if this point ended up getting mixed up a little bit. I know I started off by saying that, I'm not fully invested into K-pop. I mainly consider myself just a BTS, supporter or stan, whatever you want to call it. It is perfectly fine to do so, Don't be afraid to just be honest with yourself. There are a lot of trolls on the internet. There are a lot of haters on the internet, but there is nothing like just being honest. And at the end of the day, you don't have to care. Why care so hard about someone talking shit on the internet? You understand what I mean? So yeah, that was definitely my third one. Now moving on to the fourth. Now, this is going to be a very short point because there isn't really a lot to expand on here. What I'm going to say is what I'm going to say, and it's going to be just that. But my fourth K-pop thought/opinion is fans not holding their idols accountable for their actions. Let me say that one more slow, clear time. Fans who do not hold their idols accountable for their actions. You cannot, it is not acceptable to be so obsessed with someone to look at them when they are in the wrong and to defend that behavior. That is delusional all the way. You are a very delusional person if you can look at an idol who is obviously doing wrongdoing and defend their behavior, or constantly, pick up their slack, try to, scour for reasons. It's not okay. And when I see K-pop fans or just anybody in life do this, it lets me know what kind of person you are. I will always hold a person accountable. I hold myself accountable. It's a part of being an adult. It's a part of maturing. It's a part of life. If you do not hold yourself accountable or you don't hold others accountable, you just let them get away with basically anything that they want, and then it gets worse. So, after, there are a lot of idols in the K-pop industry that get away with, cultural appropriation, which, I have a whole other token definition for, but I'm not even going to get into that today. Or they'll say some very ignorant stuff. And it's like, when I see fans heavily defending their behavior, saying that they don't know any better, or, stop being mean to them, it's like, no, you think it's being mean? It's just being very honest and direct and blunt. How was a person ever supposed to improve if nobody is correcting them on their behavior? It's common sense. At least I thought it was common sense. I mean, you either got it or you don't. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. Hold your idols accountable. If BTS does something out of line, trust and believe I am not going to defend their behavior. I'm going to be like, hey, what, so-and-so from BTS said wasn't cool. I didn't appreciate that. And I'm going to hold them accountable. You know what I mean? I'm not, just because I'm a supporter of you or I love you or I adore you, I'm not going to cover up for your bullshit. This is kind of like an everyday life thing, but come on, people. This is actually very worrisome. That is very worrisome when I see fans covering for their idols' asses so hard. That is super worrisome. I just really hope whoever is watching this video knows that. You gotta hold people accountable. You gotta hold yourself accountable. You have to take responsibility for your actions and words. All right? Life is all about trial and error, improving, growing, getting better, learning from your mistakes. You're not gonna ever learn from your mistakes if nobody is correcting you or if you're not accepting what you did. All right, my fifth and final K-pop thought slash opinion is actually going to end on a rather good note. So here we go. We need to dilute the amount of tension, hate, obsession, basically all of the bad elements that mix into this great genre that makes it kind of toxic. We need to dilute it. And I say dilute, water down, because it won't entirely go away. It's impossible. With every good thing, there's gonna be a little bit of mixture of bad. So that's why I say dilute. I've been keeping up, small by small, little by little with K-pop since about 2015 when my friend introduced me to it. So I'm very observant. I see what goes on. I see posts, I see tweets, I see Instagram pages, I see comment sections of YouTube. So I know what's going on. We just need to dilute the bad elements. As a whole, we just need to be respectful. We need to learn how to agree to disagree. All that being juvenile shit really needs to stop. And just more importantly, just enjoy what you enjoy at the end of the day, all right? Don't put such a big emphasis on this, because if you put such a big emphasis on anything, if you make it your main source of happiness or just the number one priority over anything, it will ultimately not work at the end of the day. It will fail. You've gotta have a balanced life in general. Balance. It's all about moderation. It is all about balance. I cannot preach that enough. So at the end of the day, hopefully K-pop fandoms, this whole thing will just kind of dilute itself a little bit and just kind of go, just kind of be normal. I regularly enjoy a little bit of all K-pop artists, but I mess with BTS more. But at the end of the day, you will never see me getting crazy. You will never see me leaving a hate comment. You will never see me getting into an argument with anybody, because it's not worth it. All right, I'm too mature for that. And I know I've been saying mature throughout this whole thing a lot, but I really am. I'm so level-headed for my age. If you can't tell, I'm really chill on the average. So it's like, I'm not going to waste my time and energy on that. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, like it, share it, subscribe. That would really mean a lot, honestly. I'm trying to really build this channel. So you can leave suggestions if you want me to do another commentary on something, a particular subject. I know I'm probably going to do a short commentary for my writing / Wattpad, since, like I said, this channel is kind of a mixture of my personal life, K-pop, and writing. So, that is it for today, and I will see you guys in the next vid.